General Hospital spoilers for the next 3 weeks, April 14th to May 2nd, reveal that finally, the events fans have been eagerly awaiting are here. The storyline for Nurses Ball 2025 has officially been unveiled, bringing a wave of excitement to the General Hospital fan community. This annual event promises to deliver surprises and drama like never before. Lucy, the main organizer, is obsessed with making this year's event the most perfect yet. After recent events in Port Charles, she feels the need to create a memorable event not only to raise funds but also to uplift the community spirit. Lucy is pushing everyone to their limits, creating tension with Epiphany and Elizabeth, who are both juggling hospital responsibilities and preparations for the event. Blaze will be the star of this year's Nurses Ball, returning to Port Charles after a long absence to pursue her music career. Her return is causing complex family tensions. Natalia, Blaze's mother, is worried about her daughter performing at the event, especially with the new song Blaze has written, a song that reflects deep family issues and could reveal a connection between their family and Sidwell. Marco, Blaze's brother and a new lawyer at Alexis' firm, is supporting his sister's decision to speak the truth. He believes it's time for the family to confront the past, regardless of the consequences. The conflict between Natalia and Marco is putting Blaze in a difficult position, forcing her to choose between loyalty to her mother and her desire to express herself through music. Christina finds herself in dangerous territory as she faces the consequences of her involvement in the car accident. Alexis, with her strong protective instincts, has found evidence that could exonerate her daughter. However, using this evidence might put Alexis in a difficult ethical and legal dilemma. She is weighing whether the Nurses Ball is the right place to reveal the truth, with all eyes on Port Charles. Molly, unaware of her mother's plan, is preparing an emotional speech for the event about the importance of family, forgiveness, and healing. The irony is that this speech might take place just before or after the truth about Christina is revealed, creating a dramatic situation for the Davis family. Jocelyn, as Dalton's research assistant, is caught between her duty to investigate secrets and her responsibility to attend the Nurses Ball. She accidentally discovers Dalton's plan to experiment with a new drug on unsuspecting guests at the event. According to Dalton, the drug has the potential to revolutionize the treatment of several diseases, but it may also have unknown side effects. Emma, Jocelyn's friend and the daughter of Patrick and Robin, starts noticing Dalton's suspicious behavior at the hospital. With her medical background, Emma has a keen instinct about what's wrong. She begins sharing her concerns with her parents, who may recognize the potential danger of Dalton's experiment. The Drake family's involvement could form a powerful alliance to stop Dalton. Sonny, though facing mental health challenges and the pressures of his business empire, remains committed as a major sponsor for the Nurses Ball. His appearance at the event could become a turning point in his ongoing power struggle with Drew. Drew, with his recent personality shift, is planning to use the Nurses Ball as a platform to boost his public image and may announce a new business project that directly competes with Sonny. Carly and Nina, with their long-standing feud, will face off again at the Nurses Ball. Nina, after losing control of Crimson, is trying to reposition herself in Port Charles society and sees the Nurses Ball as the perfect opportunity. Carly, as usual, will not let Nina achieve her goals easily. The tension between these two women could erupt at the event, especially if it involves Willow or other family matters. Jason, still grieving Sam's death, will attend the Nurses Ball with mixed emotions. The event could be where he finds some comfort or new purpose, possibly through helping others or protecting loved ones from Dalton or Sidwell's threats. Lucky and Elizabeth are in a complicated phase of their relationship after she was discharged from the hospital. The Nurses Ball could be the place where they reconnect or face new challenges. Elizabeth, as a nurse at the hospital, will be actively involved in the event, while Lucky may use this opportunity to reveal crucial information he's been keeping secret. Trina and Kai will also have memorable moments at the Nurses Ball as their relationship progresses. The event could be where they publicly declare their relationship or face obstacles from family or friends. As all these storylines intertwine, Nurses Ball 2025 promises to be a dramatic and unpredictable event. From emotional performances to backstage confrontations, from shocking revelations to touching reconciliation moments. This event will reshape the future of Port Charles for months to come. Fans are eagerly awaiting to see if Blaze will dare to perform her controversial song, whether Alexis will reveal the exonerating evidence for Christina, and whether Jocelyn and Emma can stop Dalton's dangerous plan. With all these factors in play, Nurses Ball 2025 is sure to be a must-see event in General Hospital's history, one that fans will be discussing for years to come. The lawsuit for custody of Amelia and Wiley is still one of the most shocking developments unfolding in Port Charles. This legal battle is not just a custody dispute but has turned into a power struggle between the city's major families. Nina is fighting for the right to visit her granddaughter Amelia, while Willow and her supporters are adamantly opposed. Meanwhile, the dispute over Wiley has become more complicated as both the Corinthos and Quartermain families have their own interests in the case. But things are becoming even more outrageous with the revelation that the judge presiding over the case has secret ties to Sidwell. This judge, who was once considered impartial and unbiased, is now being manipulated by Sidwell to make rulings that benefit his larger plan. This has made the already complex legal proceedings even more unpredictable, with unexpected twists and controversial decisions continuing to emerge. One of the most dangerous new developments involves Michael's return to Port Charles after a long absence. Michael's return is not a family reunion as many might have hoped, but a calculated and purposeful comeback. Michael has completely changed after everything he has been through: betrayal, loss, and loneliness. He is no longer the honest and sometimes naive man people knew, but now a cold strategist with one goal: to regain control over his son and punish those who have wronged him. This is creating one of the most complicated new troubles for Carly and Willow, as they face a completely different Michael. Carly, who has always prided herself on her close relationship with her son, now faces a man full of resentment. While she still loves him and wants to support him, Carly is unsure if she can agree with Michael's new methods and motives. This creates a deep inner conflict for Carly, who must choose between loyalty to her son and her sense of right and wrong. Willow, on the other hand, is facing her worst nightmare. After betraying Michael with Drew, she has tried to rebuild her life and create a stable environment for Amelia. Now, with Michael's return, all her efforts are at risk of falling apart. Michael not only wants to regain custody of their child but also wants to punish Willow for her betrayal. He is preparing to use all of his resources and influence to achieve his goal, including exposing the secrets Willow has tried to keep hidden. The custody battle is no longer just between Willow and Nina, but has become a complicated three-way fight, with Michael as the unpredictable factor. No one knows exactly what Michael has learned during his absence, how much he has changed, and how far he is willing to go to achieve his goal. This is creating a tense and anxious atmosphere for all those involved, especially with the Nurses Ball approaching, an event where Michael may choose to make his public reappearance and begin his plan for revenge. As the lawsuit continues and Michael prepares to return, Port Charles is on the brink of an emotional storm that could forever change the dynamics of the city and the fates of many beloved characters. Jason and Sasha are facing a tense confrontation, a situation that no one expected, pushing both of them into a dangerous adversarial relationship. The story of Sasha's interactions with Sidwell is making everything go increasingly crazy as secrets are gradually revealed. In a desperate attempt to regain control of her life after the trauma and loss, Sasha has inadvertently fallen into Sidwell's web, a man who always knows how to exploit others' weaknesses. Sasha's connection with Sidwell begins when she is looking for a new business partner for her Deception Cosmetics line. Sidwell, with the appearance of a successful and trustworthy businessman, approached Sasha with an offer too tempting to refuse. However, what Sasha doesn't know is that Sidwell has a much bigger plan: to use deception as a means to launder money and expand his criminal operations. One of the new events currently unfolding about the dangers facing Sasha and Jason is making Jason feel the urgency to act. Jason, who has a sharp radar for threats, quickly recognizes the danger posed by Sidwell. However, his approach has made Sasha feel threatened and invaded. She views Jason's warnings as yet another attempt to control her life. Just like Gladys and others had done before. Sasha, with a tumultuous past and mental health issues, is determined to prove that she can make her own decisions and control her life. This makes her even more determined to protect her business relationship with Sidwell, despite the increasingly clear warning signs. She has even started sharing internal information about Jason and Sunny's activities with Sidwell, unaware that she is becoming a pawn in a much larger power struggle. This is causing a new shock for Jason, who now faces a difficult decision. Should he continue to try to protect Sasha from herself, or let her face the consequences of her choices? For Jason, who has lost so many loved ones recently, seeing someone else spiral towards self-destruction is unacceptable. But he also understands that not everyone wants to be saved. And sometimes the best efforts can cause more harm. One of the new developments in this story is a new disaster when Sidwell starts to implement the next stage of his plan. He doesn't just want to use deception for money laundering. He also wants to turn it into a vehicle for distributing a new drug Dalton is developing, a drug that could have far-reaching effects on the Port Charles community. And Sasha, as the face of deception and one of the company's leaders, is unknowingly becoming a key player in this plan. When Jason begins to uncover Sidwell's true plan, he realizes that the situation is much more serious than he initially thought. This is not just about protecting Sasha from a bad business deal. It's about preventing a potential disaster that could affect all of Port Charles. Jason begins to plan an intervention, but he knows that his actions could push Sasha further into Sidwell's grip. The showdown between Jason and Sasha is building to a climax, with the nurses' ball possibly being the place where everything explodes. Sasha, as one of the main representatives of deception, will play an important role in the event, while Jason will have to decide whether to intervene publicly and risk ruining the event. Their decisions will have far-reaching consequences not only for their lives but for many other characters in Port Charles, especially as Sidwell and Dalton's plans begin to unfold. As this story continues, fans are eagerly waiting to see if Sasha will realize the truth about Sidwell before it's too late, if Jason can stop Sidwell's plan without causing more damage, and whether deception, the company Sasha has poured so much of herself into, will survive this storm. Alexis has made the difficult decision to arrest Christina for causing the accident involving Rick and Liz, a decision that's hard for any mother who always wants to protect her child. However, the story Alexis is now planning is truly turning into a crazy explosion of events when it comes to helping Christina avoid punishment. With her vast legal experience and strong protective instincts as a mother, Alexis has come up with a bold plan to save Christina from serious legal consequences. Alexis' plan involves putting Christina into a mental health facility, claiming that her daughter was mentally unstable at the time of the accident. Alexis secretly hires a reputable psychologist to evaluate Christina and diagnose her with post-traumatic stress disorder and impulse control issues stemming from past traumatic events, including losing her child with Parker. This diagnosis, combined with Christina's history of substance abuse, would form the foundation for a claim that her mental capacity was impaired. Alexis has also begun gathering evidence and witnesses to support the assertion that Christina had been going through a mental crisis before the accident. She's even reached out to some of Christina's friends and family members, including Neil, before his death, to confirm that they noticed signs of instability in Christina. The purpose is not just to mitigate Christina's legal liability but to protect her from the long-term consequences of her actions. However, this plan is causing unforeseen consequences. One of the haunting news stories about Alexis' calculations is the deep ethical conflict she now faces. As a lawyer, she understands the importance of truth and justice, but as a mother, she can't bear the thought of her daughter going to jail. This inner struggle is affecting every decision Alexis makes, causing her to second-guess every move she takes. Every night, Alexis stays awake, wondering if what she's doing is right. She has spent her entire career defending the law, and now she is actively trying to manipulate the law to protect her daughter. She questions whether this will make her a hypocrite and whether she can live with this decision for the rest of her life. What complicates things even further is that Alexis knows Christina is actually guilty. She deliberately cut Ava's car's brakes, even though the outcome wasn't what she intended. In moments of weakness, Alexis wonders if a better approach might be to encourage Christina to take responsibility for her actions and face the consequences. Perhaps that would help Christina grow up and learn a valuable lesson about responsibility and consequences. But then, her motherly instincts take over. And Alexis can't bear the thought of Christina spending years in prison. Especially knowing that the justice system might not be fair and her daughter could be treated more harshly because she's Sonny Corinthos' daughter. Meanwhile, Alexis' plan is inadvertently changing Ava's strategy. Ava, who initially wanted to use this situation to take revenge on Christina and the Davis family, now has to adjust her plan. Christina being sent to a mental health facility wasn't part of Ava's original plan, and this is causing Ava's plans to shift in a more dangerous direction. Ava had initially hoped to see Christina convicted and harshly punished by the law. She wanted to see Christina pay for her actions. And she wanted Alexis to suffer by watching her daughter be taken away. But with Alexis' new plan, Ava realizes that she needs a different strategy. She begins to focus on destroying Alexis' reputation, a woman she has always seen as an opponent and a barrier to many of her own plans. The latest developments are turning into a new crazy story when Ava decides to focus on ruining Alexis' reputation instead of going directly after Christina. Ava begins gathering evidence of any illegal actions Alexis might have taken to protect her daughter. This could lead to an investigation into Alexis' professional ethics, threatening not only her career but her freedom as well. Ava hires a private investigator to follow Alexis, record every meeting, phone call, and document she accesses. She also starts reaching out to people Alexis has interacted with, trying to find inconsistencies or evidence of witness tampering. Ava even begins suggesting to Rick, who is the victim of the accident but also a lawyer and father to Molly, that something isn't quite right about how Alexis is handling the situation. Ava doesn't just want to destroy Alexis' career as a lawyer, she also wants to see her face criminal charges for obstructing justice and possibly even perjury. Ava knows that for Alexis, a woman who has spent her life building a reputation as an ethical lawyer and a good mother, losing both identities would be a blow worse than any legal punishment. This situation is creating a chain reaction in Port Charles. Molly, unaware of her mother's true plan, feels betrayed and angry about Christina being sent to a mental health facility. As a young, idealistic lawyer, Molly believes in the justice system and legal processes. She doesn't understand why her mother is not allowing Christina a chance to defend herself in court. She's also worried about the long-term effects of being placed in a mental health facility on her sister's reputation and future. Molly has started her own investigation, trying to learn more about Christina's true condition and the reasons behind her mother's sudden decision. She has tried to reach out to medical staff at the facility and even attempted to review Christina's medical records. These actions could inadvertently jeopardize Alexis' plan, especially if Ava finds out and exploits Molly's curiosity. Sam, while understanding her mother's intentions, is also concerned about the long-term consequences of this plan for Christina and the entire family. Sam has seen too many perfect plans fall apart, and she fears this one won't be any different. She's also worried about the impact on Danny and Scout. What will the children think when they learn that their grandmother deliberately deceived the law? Sam wants to protect her sister, but she also wants to protect her children and her mother. Meanwhile, Sonny, with his complicated relationship with both Alexis and Christina, is in a difficult position. He wants to protect his daughter, but he also doesn't want to see Alexis suffer the consequences of her actions. Sonny understands better than anyone the cost of protecting family at all costs. And he doesn't want to see Alexis pay the price the way he did. Sonny has secretly provided Alexis with resources to support her plan, including information on psychologists who can support Christina's diagnosis. He has also begun keeping an eye on Ava, suspecting that she is planning something. Sonny knows that Ava is not someone who forgives easily, and he worries about how far she might go in her quest for revenge. Jason, as Sonny's right-hand man and Alexis' longtime friend, is also secretly supporting this plan. He's helping ensure that Christina is well treated at the mental health facility and has begun investigating Ava's activities to prepare for any attacks from her. However, what none of them know is that Christina is actually going through a real mental health crisis. Her deliberate attempt to harm someone, even though it wasn't her intended goal, has deeply affected her. She's beginning to doubt herself and her ability to control her anger. She wonders if she's more like her father than she thought and if she has the potential to hurt others in the future. These thoughts, combined with the pressure of her current situation and the guilt of making her mother go this far to protect her, are pushing Christina into a state of deep depression. Ironically, the diagnosis Alexis fabricated is starting to become a reality, and Christina may actually need serious psychological treatment. As this story continues to unfold, it promises to create dramatic and unexpected situations. Will Alexis' plan succeed in saving Christina from prison? Or will it lead to the collapse of the entire Davis family? Will Ava succeed in exploiting this situation for revenge, or will she face unforeseen consequences from her own actions? And perhaps most importantly, will Christina ever find peace and forgiveness for herself after everything that has happened? Perhaps the most worrying thing is that Christina might begin to believe the story about her mental condition to the point where she's no longer sure what is truth and what is a lie. The boundary between reality and fiction may start to blur, causing Christina to doubt herself and her memories. This could lead to a much more complex psychological state, one that even Alexis couldn't have anticipated. As the nurses' ball draws closer, all these tensions and conflicts may reach their breaking point. With nearly every character involved attending the event, this could be the place where the truth finally comes out, or where new lies are created to cover up old ones. One thing is certain, Port Charles will never be the same after this storm, and the consequences of the decisions made in the coming weeks will reverberate for months, even years to come.